right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Sunday evening, about a little bit after 9 p.m. Wow, I didn't realize it was that late. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to get this out of the way first and foremost. Like and subscribe if you like what we do here on Mr. Mean Speaks. We talk about RPGs and gaming related topics. Today, I do this every so often on my channel. I like to revisit games that I think aren't getting enough hype, aren't getting enough love, aren't getting enough attention. And there's one that my good friend Brian turned me on to. I had seen it. I didn't know much about it, and I kind of, oh, it's a D6 system. Meh. I'm not a huge fan of D6 systems, as most of the meanies know. If you follow my channel, you know that. But there are a few that I do like. I like Marvel's Multiverse RPG, the new one that just came out, although I haven't had a chance to play it. I like Fantasy Age version 1 and the new second edition. There's a number of D6 games I do like. I'm not a fan of Champions. I'm not a fan of West End Games. I'm not a fan of Shadowrun. So, it's give and take. But there's one that, like I said, my good friend Brian turned me on to, and he actually sent me the little tiny books, and I don't have them out. I should have pulled them out, but I didn't. They're digest size. There was 3 books: old, new, or old, now, and new. So old is fantasy, now is modern day, and new is sci-fi. And it's by W.O.I.N Publishing, and I think it's Ross Morrissey as the Russ Morrissey is the creative brain behind W.O.I.N Publishing. They do a lot of 5e stuff. I really have no interest in the 5e stuff, but I do like their What's Old is New. And they recently did a Kickstarter, and here's the box. This is the starter box. So this is just a taste. You can actually buy the full-blown books, which I highly recommend if you want an open system like GURPS, like D&D, where there's not a preset world, an open environment for you to create your own. If you're looking for a system that has a defined world for whatever genre it is, this may not be the system for you. It's not to say that it's bad. It's just I don't believe they have a fantasy setting or a now setting, so they're old. Fantasy is old. Their modern setting is now, and then their new setting is Soul Space. So they do have a setting for that. I've done a review of that. Go back in the archives and check it out. It's really good. I'm a fan. So this starter box, like I said, is it's a nice little, it came in a nice little box. I want to say this was like $20 or $30. I don't remember. It wasn't that much. I don't know if there's a MSRP on the back here. No, it doesn't say. It was printed in China, so that's a little disappointing. I'd rather see games produced in America or Canada, but that's okay. It was fairly inexpensive to get into, and what's great about this is you can buy it as a PDF off of W.O.I.N Publishing's website, and I'll try to remember to put a link down in the doobly-doo. But so the starter box, first and foremost, comes with 8d6. Now, I don't know if there are different colors in other boxes. My box came with 8d6, and they're standard size, rounded corners. They're very nice. Just your basic d6 dice. And then it did come, which I thought was kind of cool, it did come with a whole bunch, not a whole bunch, but it came with 2 sheets of tokens. And what was nice about these tokens is the way they were packed in the box. There's a little corner here so you can get your finger under there and pull them out. They're high quality tokens. They're relatively thick, if you can see the thickness there with my fat fingers. The art is pretty generic art, but I mean, you got a little bit of everything. You got monsters, you got an ogre, you got like a treant, raccoons, you got some fantasy, you got some modern day, so you got a bunch of different stuff. The tokens are front and back, but it's the same picture on both sides. But it's tokens. So what do you expect? It's tokens. It'll do what you need it to do. So that part's kind of cool. It comes with 3 adventures. And I'm going to put them in order. It comes with Dilemma and Decay, which is a fantasy trope. And this is a full blown adventure. Everything you need to get started. Kind of an intro adventure that you could play. It comes with Habits and Happenstance, which is a modern day, I think it's 1980 is where it takes place. Subway train heist, yeah. Modern day horror by D.M. Sarah. So, and then What's Old is New, The Silence of Zephdan Station. This is their sci-fi one. And again, these are introductory adventures. They're not very big. I mean, we're looking 23 pages, but you got a critter there. And there's all kinds of stuff in here. So these are really great intro adventures that really help get you into the game. And the other cool thing is, I want to make sure I've got everything here properly. You get, I think it's, yeah, you get 3 maps, one for each adventure. So you've got your old, your now, and your new maps, which is pretty darn cool. And then what I thought was really neat is these pre-generated characters. And if anybody at W.O.I.N Publishing watches this, for the love of God, please make these character templates available. I just was at your website and they're not available. So I have a bunch of characters. I mean, you can see there's quite a few there. These are pre-gen characters made with the basic book here, and these should be available as a PDF download off of their website. I don't know why they're not, but I think they're freaking phenomenal. I really like them. Here's Kroot, and this is your fantasy hero. They're one-sided. The other side is blank. They're on just heavy paper, 90 weight paper, maybe 80 weight or something like that. But you've got your image of your character. You got a little write-up about them, and then you've got all your attributes, your defenses, your health, your soak, and then your 2 actions, and then all your exploits and traits. This is a D6 dice pool game. So if you have to roll strength, you're going to roll strength. And in this case, Kroot rolls 3d6. And then if he was attacking someone, he'd roll his melee, anything applicable, like his battle axe, he would roll 5d6. It's 3d6 for his strength and 2d6 for the axe itself. His notable skills are carousing, axes, again, there's where the 5d6 comes in, tracking, nature, climbing, and swimming, and his gear is a battle axe and 100 gold crowns, or gold coins. His exploits and traits are things that modify the game mechanics for him, that make him a little bit better at being a frontline fighter. He has Dark Sight, Bloodlust, Frenzy, Faint, and Whirlwind Frenzy. Those are all different examples of exploits and traits. He has Glory, which is an exploit. Kroot takes pleasure in battle and pride in his wounds. When reduced to below half health, he gains a 1d6 bonus to attack rolls. So that's pretty awesome. So the game is super simple. I really, really like the character creation. You can build exactly the character you want. Within the limits of the system itself. And of course, there's never, as the old saying goes, there's never enough points. But what's cool about this is there's no complex math. Your modifiers to do things, if it's at risk of failing, is a 10, 15, 20, or 30 on a dice pool. So in this case, Kroot, like to use his example, 3d6 plus 2d6 from his fighting with axes. He rolls 5d6. Well, the GM says it's really cold out there. I mean, it's like really cold. That's going to impose a minus 1d6. So now he's rolling 4d6. But let's just say, for argument's sake, he has a really good axe. Maybe it's magical. So he gets a plus 2d6. So now he's rolling 66. There is a limit modifier on how many dice you can roll, and there are very few exceptions to get above that dice pool. It's based on your careers. When you make a character in What's Old is New, you're, I feel, somewhat competent. So you're going to choose a number of careers, and again, you can make whatever you want, and then you choose those careers. It really shines in the sci-fi setting because you can kind of be a jack of all trades. But even in the now and the old as well, you can really build this character. And of course, depending on the careers that the GM imposes on you, that's your maximum dice pool. So in this case, the average is 5. So you would take 5 careers worth of advancements basically, and that would get you up to a 5d6. They have a pretty neat chart on how to actually create characters. You when you roll your attributes, you'll make a number of choices, and those choices will give you numbers. You'll tally up those numbers, choosing from your background, your social status, your race, your job, whatever career it is you chose, and those will all give you modifiers, and you'll add them up, and at the end you'll look at a chart, and that chart will say, well, if you have an 11 to 12 in strength, that's 3d6, and so on and so forth. So it's really cool, and then of course modifiers are in your equipment and any exploits and traits that you might have. So like his dark sight and bloodlust come from being an orc. He gets those things that are built into the character. So you come with a plethora of options. There's Talik, which is an alien for the sci-fi setting. Dr. TikTok is a robot, and he's a healer, I believe, if I remember correctly. Is a scientist. So you get just all these super cool things. And I mean, these are really good because you just hand this to a player, and they've got a character sheet. They've got everything they need to get going. I mean, it's listing their equipment. It's really well done. But I think Ian Publishing missed a golden opportunity here to provide this as a template on their website, front and back, and let you print it out and cut it out, and laminate it or whatever. This would be wonderful. To just to have a character sheet that looks like this, so when you're said and done, maybe have the normal character sheet and then convert it to this little template and then print it out and cut it out, and you've got an amazing character sheet. Marla is I believe she's a halfling. And she's a healer if I remember correctly. Brawling in a sling, pep talk, aim, bless, curse. Yeah, she's kind of like your cleric. And then you have Sir Mandolin, who is a knight, obviously, your war. And then you have Selena, she's a fire mage, basically. And so, like, her main spell is Firebolt, and it's 5d6 with a 2d6 fire damage, range 6. So, super cool, very, very apropos to the setting of whatever setting you want to play. And then of course this little rule book is just very well laid out. Now this is just a taste of the game, but if you're tired of D&D, you're tired of Pathfinder, maybe you're playing GURPS and you're used to D6 systems, you want to take a refresher, a change, I highly recommend What's Old is New. Ian Publishing is not, of course, sponsoring this video. It would be nice if they did. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Send me some free stuff. I would love it. I would review it. But it's the book. I mean, in here, look, these are some bounty hunters and carnivorous plants. So here's like a little bestiary, and again, selling these cards would be phenomenal. I mean, now obviously printing and what it is right now is a little crazy, but yeah, it's really cool. There's a crocodile, an ent. Here's a ghoul and a ghost. Let me see if we can find something. Oh, there we go. There's a goblin, and it's super cool. I would love to see some monster cards like this. If they would make this a blank template, I would happily go through and just plug all the data in myself. There is a Foundry VTT module for this. I haven't used it in a while. Back in the day when I did use it, it was pretty good. It had some few minor bugs, and it didn't have any NPCs or anything. You had to make everything, which is very time consuming. And for all of us, we're all short on time, and that's the reason I dropped the game that I was running. But I think I want to go back and run a fantasy game. I love the art too. The dragon reading the book is phenomenal. And like I said, this is a little pamphlet style book. It's 70 pages, and I think it's done really well. And like I said, you've got enough monsters and antagonists in here to keep you going for a while. So it's a very great introductory into the game. It'll give you enough, if your players don't like the fantasy, they don't like making their spells right off the bat, maybe jump over to sci-fi. The actual core books of these do have a plethora of information in them. There's a number of spells, there's a number of psychic powers, and there's exploits and talents that are in there that will help you flesh out your character. So it's very well done. And of course, you got a scientist, you got like a road warrior, and then a sci-fi guy, alien. I can't say enough good things about this. The art in the book is really well done. There's a swamp drake. Hey, you gotta have swamp drakes. It's really well done. It gives you just enough in here to wet your whistle and hopefully make you want to go out and buy one of the core books. And you say, Mr. Mean, why don't I just go buy the core book? Well, that's a good question. And I think you should go buy the core book, whichever one or all three, like I did, because I'm a maniac. But what I would say is buy the primer, buy the box set, the starter set, the starter box. Buy the starter box. I think it's under $50. You're getting 3 games for the price of one, basically, and it'll give you an idea of what you like, and you're supporting a good company, and you'll get some cool dice, and you're getting a lot of templates that you could use over and over and over again, you know and you can get up and play right away. So if you all you buy is the core book, you're gonna have to read the whole thing, tell your players how to make characters. At least if you buy this, all that hard work is done for you. You just need to read the basic rules, which are in the front of this book, you know, for the genre and or setting that you're into. Well, it's the base rules, and then each adventure will introduce the more specific rules for that genre. So, yeah, I just wanted to go over and just do a refresher video because I don't think this is getting enough love. We've been prattling on for 18 minutes now, so I think that's fair enough. So yeah, I just wanted to say nice things about W.O.I.N Publishing's What's Old is New. I think it's a really good system. You should check it out. You can buy it on Drive-Thru RPG. If you do, please use my affiliate link. It really, really helps the channel. And we can use all the help we can get. If you really want to help the channel, then you can support me on Patreon. It's $5 a month. And what that does is, well, it just helps really support the channel. It does get you into if you're a Patreon member and you're on my Discord, then I will always send you an invite before I make it available to other players. So all of my Patreons get access to the games that I run. And I'm currently not running anything because it's summertime and it's a busy time of the year at my new job. I have to visit all of my sites in Minnesota and Wisconsin. And it looks like I'm going to be going to Illinois here pretty soon. So, lucky me. But I do want to get back to running some more games on Foundry. In fact, when I wrap up this video, I'm going to log into Foundry and see if they've updated the What's Old is New data set. I'm hoping they have. Because, like I said, it was a little unfinished back in the day. It was about two or 3 years ago that I played with it. Maybe 2 years. I'm not quite sure how long ago it was. But it was quite a while ago. So anyway, yeah, if you really want to help the channel, then, of course, Ko-Fi, it's also known as Buy Me a Coffee. You can do a one-time donation, or you can Patreon $5 a month. It goes back into the channel. Use my affiliate link. That also helps the channel. And swing by the Discord channel and stop in and say hi. I think I might go live tomorrow night or Tuesday night. We'll see what time permits. And then Thursday night, I believe, I have a basic role play game with a couple of the meanies on my channel. I'm not running it. I'm playing. I'm playing a dwarven monk. Basic role play by Chaos Sim is a super cool game, and of course I've done a review of it. So go check it out in a doobly doo. So as always, I don't have much more to say. I want to say thank you for watching and supporting the channel. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it, and as always, remember, Mr. Mean says be nice.